Doing a network crimp, which is not too difficult, but a lot of people struggle with it. They haven't had to do it too many times, so I'm just going to show you the way that I do it, just for stuff that I do at home. So at the moment, I'm just trying to get rid of a Ethernet over, Ethernet over power adapter, so I can use it somewhere else in the house. So I've just ran a bit of cable and got my crimps ready, and we're just going to show you what we do next. So this big bulky TP link thing's the one that I'm going to move. So at the moment I've got my cable here. As you can see, it's pretty messy, but I've got some network equipment over the back that's all plugged into that, and I just want to get rid of it because there's no point in really taking up that much space for that, something that you can replace with something this small. So one of the first things you want to do is strip your cable, so you expose all the wires obviously, so it's a bit hard to get it in focus. But then in these as well, you've actually got, it's a little bit hard to see, but there's a plastic core that runs down the inside of it. So you want to actually cut that a bit away so you can move the wires freely, and then separate them. And the crimps that I'm using today have got these little plates, little inserts, so you can actually insert all the wiring into here before you put it into your jack and crimp it. Alright, a bit hard to see, try and get it in focus, but you've got the plastic cover over the wires now. Now another common thing that people always make mistakes with is they go, okay, well I'll just put the same wiring on both sides. Don't do that. Look up the standards of T568 and T568A and T568B and make sure you're using the right one for whatever application you're using for. The reason for that is because some of the wires are actually used for power, so if you just put them the same way on each side, it doesn't necessarily work. And now at this point, we can actually cut off the excess, put it into our plug. The other thing that we want to actually check is how much room is there going to be left with the sheathing still on the cable, because ideally you want to have some of the sheathing inside your connector at the back there. You don't want to have all the wires hanging out the back like you see quite often. That's not the right way of doing it. You always want the cable to be held snug in there so it's not getting stressed by anything. So this is what I'm talking about with the getting some of the sheathing inside the connector. Then the next thing to check, kind of hard to see in a video, but make sure that all your wires are coming right to the end. When you're using these inserts, it's actually a lot easier to make sure that that's working correctly. But they're all the way up to the very end there. So now we're good to crimp it. This is another thing to pay attention to when you're using your crimp. See at the back there, you can see that's where we're actually going to have the connectors crimping up to. Make sure you put it in the right way. Which obviously for this one is we're going to put it in from this side so that it can crimp on the other side. So you can see as I'm crimping, it's coming up. And then once we're done, it's going to go out like that. Right, while we're crimping, we want to make sure that we're holding some pressure from behind, and then let it go. Crimp it down, give it a couple of pumps, pull it out, and you should be able to make sure it's not going to move. The next thing is do the other side, plug it in, make sure it all works. Righto, I've just done the other side. So if we look on this switch at the moment, ports 6, 7 and 8 aren't lit. Just going to plug into 7. There we go. So if you've done the right connection on both sides, you should get a link light. That's not 100% going to verify that everything's working correctly. So if you've got any other network equipment connected, make sure you're getting IP addresses and everything like that, and then you can know it's 100% done. Yeah, that's the quick tips on doing a quick RJ45 termination. Well, some other things to be careful of is when you first strip the wire, like I showed at the start of the video, make sure that you don't nip the sheath of the wires that you're going to be crimping. Just can cause some problems in case it shorts out, that sort of thing. Don't unwind heaps and heaps of the twisting of the cables. They're twisted for a reason. It's to reduce noise, so make sure you try and keep as much as possible still twisted. Don't do the stupid thing that you see so many people do of just leaving this much wire out the back of the RJ45 connector. It's not on, it's stupid, it causes problems. Because if someone runs by it or pulls it very quickly, it'll just snap the wires out. If you've got the actual sheathing inside the connector, it'll prevent bad things from happening. So make sure you take some time, take some practice. You won't get it right the first time, no one does. And then yeah, give it a try, and once you get it right, you'll be right for everyone after that.